Each couple will be tested with a lie detector.
What?
Based on their eye movements, we'll verify what's true and what's not. Did you cheat before the show? Do you still have feelings for your ex? Have you had sex with her best friend?
If you're new here, welcome. If you've been here a while, hey, let's go. Another mind-numbing reality TV show. You know me, I love a good mind-numbing reality, messy TV show. So I came across Love Never Lies South Africa. I saw a trailer on YouTube and I was like, oh my God, I think I need to watch this because I remember watching The Ultimatum South Africa and reviewing that. I think I was one of the first people to review it. And so I thought, oh my God, let me jump on board on this because it looks like it's going to be messy. It's going to be messy because it seems like it's sort of like The Ultimatum, but The Ultimatum on steroids, if you get what I mean, in the sense that there is a prize pot at the end. They're going to bring in people to entice people to see if they'll cheat on their partners, whereas on The Ultimatum they just swap partners and stuff. So this is about to be a hot mess and I'm here for it, and I hope you're going to join me along. Anyway, hey there, it's your girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode I'll be reviewing Love Never Lies South Africa Season 1 Episode 1. So we get to meet the cast. So they have 6 couples come in, and apparently there's going to be an eye detector. So it seems there'll be some sort of eye scan that will sort of detect whether someone is lying or someone is telling a truth. And there's going to be a prize fund at the end. The prize fund could go up to R1 million, but it starts off at 500 Rand. And apparently it's being hosted by Millie Dlamini. Name sounds familiar, but I don't know her. Anyway, so the first couple is Mnaka and Nkatseo. They've been dating for 9 months. It seems like, she says her family likes him. He was sort of wanting an open relationship at the start of their relationship, and then eventually they agreed to just be monogamous. So it's just been the two of them for the past 9 months, and so they are there to see if there is a future or not, because they want to know whether to make any future plans. Apparently her mom and dad really like him, so I can't wait to see what happens with that couple. Next up is Clayton and Wilfred. They've been dating for 1 year, 8 months. They're a gay couple. And one of them has cheated before. And so there is that tension from the cheating, and they're hoping that being on the show will help them sort of get answers and move on. And it's like, I don't know. That's just a can of worms that you're about to open up. Next up is Lynn and Kuda. They've been together for 7 years. Apparently they're constantly breaking up on and off. They remind me of what's her name? Oh my God, Kateko, and what's her name? I've forgotten his ex. Oh my God, they remind me of that, and I hope they're not that toxic. I hope they don't get to be that messy, but anyway, it is what it is. Next up we have Naledi and Nikki. Naledi and Nikki are a lesbian couple. Apparently they've been very adventurous. They were polyamorous, and then at some point they then decided to be monogamous, and then one of them cheated. They've moved in together and they want to see if that works. And it's like, if you've been polyamorous, I don't know if there's a way back to sort of come and suddenly be monogamous and be content with being monogamous, especially if your partner has cheated on you. So I can't wait to see what happens there. I know my words are not coming out today, are they? And then you have Pretty and Sia. Apparently Sia had a girlfriend, and then he had a side chick when he met his current girlfriend, and so there was a struggle there because she, I assume, didn't want to date someone who's got a side chick and the main chick, and so he told her about the main chick but didn't tell her about the side chick. And when the main chick found out about the side chick, she decided, nah, deuces, I'm out. So she left. And apparently, according to Pretty, she says, Sia is not her type, and it's like, if he's not your type and you're saying you're dating a pretty boy, why are you with him? Make it make sense. Why are you with him if he's not your type? Because this is just a hot mess. Unless the two of you are just there to be on TV, it doesn't make sense why you'd be with someone who you're saying is not your type. I don't know. It's good. I can't wait to see what happens. Then lastly, we have Nancy and Botlele. I think that's how you pronounce it. He's 29. Apparently, he entered them because he's asked by everyone who entered you, who submitted the application, and he says he did. Apparently, he's got a child from a prior relationship who gets along very well with Nancy. So he's trying to see if they can, make their relationship progress. She says she grew up in the village. She's a healer, and at times it appears as though he shames her because of her sexual experience or how sort of limited. I didn't quite get that bit, so I want to see exactly what they mean, and so it's going to be interesting to see. I don't know. This is about to be messy, and I hope you're all in for this ride with me because we're about to have an amazing time. I really like the house that they're filming the show in. It looks amazing. It really is beautiful. It really is amazing is all I can say. I remember seeing South Africa is doing its thing. You have to give credit where credit is due, because I remember there was a season of The Challenge that I watched where they were filming in South Africa. So you have to give credit to where it's due. So they're separated into two groups, and they're sort of sitting down and having conversations about, the show and the requirements, because they've been told that there will come a time where they'll have this eye detector test and people have to be truthful. And you have, Nikki already confessing, because apparently her partner really does lose it when she loses it. So she is worried that if they find out everything that she's been doing, then it's going to be a problem. And it's like, it is what it is. Anyway, they then come for their first Love Never Lies ceremonies, and apparently prior to the ceremony they have questions asked and they have the eye detector, and then when they come to the ceremony it's a matter of them either gaining or losing money. So if it's a truth, they gain 10,000 rand. If it's a lie, they're deducted by 10,000 rands. And so first up is Manaka and Khote. And Manaka is asked, did you kiss another man during your 3-week breakup? Because apparently at the start of their relationship, they had that sort of on and off before they decided to be committed, because he wanted to be in a polyamorous sort of relationship. And so she says yes, which turns out to be a truth. And she's sort of saying that, it's something that we never talked about, something we never questioned about. And he says, well, it is what it is. And so you have, Millie sort of asking, how are you surprised by his reaction that he's not really that upset? And she says, yeah. And he says, well, I might be the one who will be very sorry very soon when it comes to my turn. And it's like he knows what he's done. Anyway, and Costas asked, have you had sex with Manaka's best friend? And he says yes. And it turns out it's the truth. And the audacity to say you were no longer friends, so I didn't tell you. Why? Whether we were friends or not, what gave you the reason to believe that, it was okay for you to take your little joystick and go and mess about with my friend? Why? Why would you do that? At the end of the day, you should respect me enough, whether or not I'm friends with someone. Someone that has been a close acquaintance should be off limits for you. Why would you think that was okay? Anyway, so they gained 20,000 rand because of the two truths. Okay, just to put it out there, I like Millie. I love how she carries herself, the grace, the sort of self-importance that she places on herself. I'm here for it. Anyway, next up is Naledi and Nikki. So first up is Naledi. Naledi's asked, have you lied to Nikki about how many previous partners you've had? And the answer is no. And the lie detector says, well, that's a lie. That's a lie. And so for Naledi to say that, oh, well, maybe I haven't counted everyone or whatever. And it's like, oh my God, how many partners have you had that you can't keep a count? How many have you had? Seriously, maybe you need a notepad or something just to write them down, or on your phone, just, create an Excel document and just write everybody down so you can track them. Nah, that wasn't it. And I'm surprised Nikki didn't seem really that upset about it. Yeah, she was shocked, but she really didn't seem upset. I think because she knew she had something bigger coming. And so when it was Nikki's turn, she was asked, do you still have feelings for your ex-fiance? And she says yes. And you have Naledi in her feelings, because Naledi is saying, this is a question I've asked before, so I feel gaslighted, I feel like I've been dismissed, sort of like she's made her feel as though she was making things up in her head. And so you have Nikki saying, well, I love her, but I'm not in love with her. And this, like, that's the technicality. That's the technicality. And I also understand where a lady is coming from when she's saying you've had a physical relationship or intimate physical relationship with this person and you've got a child with them. So the idea that you'd continue to love them is a source of, insecurity on my part, because how do I know whether the two of you are not going to get back together? Well, that's my thought. How does she know that the two of you are not going to get back together? So that sort of leaves the door open and plenty of questions in regards, how do they move away from that? And how can you continue to sort of co-parent your child and not be emotionally invested in your ex? There's nothing I like more than a bit of mess, and a messy couple. I love them the most. Lynn and Kuda are going to be that messy couple because of their reactions. The moment Pretty and Sia sit down and the first question is asked, and the way they were sort of making facial expressions, that is like, please don't. They are going to be, I hope they're not in Kateko and, what's her name, Kanya, of this show. I really hope so. I hope, they're both well behaved, but hey, it is what it is. Anyway, Sia's asked, are you afraid that Pretty is going to leave you for another man? And he says no. And lie detector says, you lied. That's a lie. And I think I sort of get it, because she said, she's used to going out with handsome or good looking guys and whatever. And so I think she plays a part in his insecurities because she's constantly nagging him. And she actually agreed with it and said, I'm constantly telling him that if you do this, then I'm going to leave you. If you do that, I'm going to leave you. And it's like, don't have a relationship where you're holding someone at ransom. Either you like them for who they are, you continue in your relationship, or keep it moving. Turn left, let's go. Don't keep someone in a relationship just because you're bribing them or you're sort of keeping them at ransom and they are afraid to do anything just in case they leave you because of how they feel about you. That I didn't like. Pretty was asked, did you leave your belongings at your ex's place to maintain contact with him? She said no. And lie detector said yes. And so her justification is that, well, he is always in contact with his exes, so I don't see why I can't keep in contact with mine. And it's like, well, his belongings are not at his exes. Yes, you're saying he saw one of his exes and walked up to them, but still, that's different from you going to somebody else's house. Because when you go to that person's house, anything could happen. And her justification is, oh, well, when I go there, I do tell him that I'm going there. And it's like, still, he's not there to see what's happening. What if in between taking your stuff from your ex's place, the two of you stop by his bedroom and stuff? Why can't you take your belongings and put them wherever you're living at the moment? Make sense? It doesn't. Next up is Clayton and Wilfred. It was a given they were going to ask about the cheating. It's not a surprise. So Wilfred is asked, have you forgiven Clayton for cheating on you? And he says no. Lie detector says, that's a lie. And so then he's asked by Millie that, did you lie because you didn't want Winfred to think he got away with it the first time so you can continue to get away with it? And he said, yeah, that's more or less it. And so I get the rationalization. That you've forgiven someone, but you don't want them to repeat the same thing. So you pretend like you haven't forgiven them. I would just tell them, I'm sorry. Forgive you. I know I was talking about, holding someone at ransom, but I'll give them a heads up that next time you do it, we're done. And that's it. And so I think I sort of get where Winfred is coming from, but at the same time, you have to look after you. You can't continue to live in this bubble of constantly wondering, is he going to do it again? Is he going to do it again? That's just my opinion. Next up is Clayton. Clayton is asked, do you flirt with other people when you go out partying? And he says yes, and that's the truth. And it's like, seriously, you've already cheated on your partner, and the audacity to continue to flirt with other people. Why not respect your partner enough to sort of avoid doing that? Seriously, because otherwise you're just making their insecurities bigger and you're just making the situation worse. If I were Clayton, I'll be questioning whether it's worth continuing to be in a relationship with someone who's not that committed to the relationship. Because the idea that you cheated and then you want your ego boosted by people flirting with you doesn't make sense to me. It's either you're happy and you're satisfied with us as a couple, or we keep it stepping. Next up is Nancy and Potlele. Well, so he is asked, do you lie to avoid having sex with Nancy? He says no, and it turns out to be a lie. And it's like, why would you lie on something like that? I would say yes and then justify my reason for saying yes, because his answer is, I am stressed all the time, and when I'm stressed, I really can't do anything. I can't perform, I can't pretend. And it's like, don't lie. Please don't lie. Just say you're having an affair with someone, or you're exploring with other people, and the people you're exploring you with are showing you things that she sadly is not giving you. And this is why when you come home, you can't be bothered to sort of participate because she's not living up to the standards that you have met elsewhere. Don't make it seem like, everyone is stressed, but that doesn't mean people don't become physically intimate. But anyway, that's just my thought. Nancy's asked, when Bohlele rejects you, do you suspect that he is cheating on you? And the response is yes. And it ties in with his question that if he's lying to her about sex and is refusing to have sex with her, then she's bound to think he's cheating. That's a given. Because if you're not getting it at home, where are you getting it? Where are you getting it? For him to say, oh no, women, yes, they cannot perform if they're not in the mood for it, but men will always perform. Maybe I'm just relying on stereotypes, but men will always do it without the need for any emotional sort of connection. So the idea that he would say, oh, I'm always stressed, this is why I can't do it, I can't perform on command. No, you're lying, buddy. Just tell her you are exploring with other women who are teaching you things that you're not getting at home, and this is why when you get home you can't be bothered because it doesn't meet the standards you've been sort of become accustomed to elsewhere. I called it. I have a feeling Lynn and Kuda are going to be the toxic couple of the season. Not toxic per se, but they're going to be the messy couple. They're going to be the dramatic couple. And they're going to be the breakout stars, in my opinion. They are the last couple to be asked. So first up is Lynn. She's asked, are you staying with Kuda because you're afraid of starting over? And she says no. Lie detector said she lied. And she says, no, I stand on it, 100%, 1000%. I'm not afraid to start over. And then so they sort of reach an understanding, and Kuda says, well, maybe subconsciously she is worried about starting over, but I don't know. I don't think she proactively thinks about it. I think subconsciously. And it's like, yeah, maybe. And she, you have Lynn sort of say, I'll take the subconsciously thinking about it. not that I'm actively afraid of starting over. I don't mind starting over. And it's like, oh, okay, here we go. Kuda is then asked, were you physically intimate with another woman or with other women during your weekend getaway? Because he had this weekend getaway, and you had, Lynn sort of questioning the weekend getaway with guys, and she feels like something happened that she doesn't know about, and so that is a concern for her. Well, it's revealed that that's a lie, and you can see from her body language that she is about to pop off. She's not happy with it, and then the episode ends, and it's like, why? We want to know what happens next. We don't want to wait for the second episode. But anyway, I can't wait to watch episode 2. I will try and upload daily, just because it will take up most of my day if I have to do it, 2 episodes or in a row. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and click the link in my video to watch my review from The Ultimatum South Africa. Bye guys.